The foundation of British administration and its effects. Dear students, under the chapter The Foundation of British Administration and its Effects, we are going to learn these topics: Doctrine of Subsidiary Alliance, Anglo-Maratha Wars, Anglo-Sikh Wars, laws brought into force by the British, and supplementary points of constitutional development. English fought against other Europeans for the trade monopoly in India and defeated them. Later they dreamt of an English empire in India and succeeded. You have studied all of these in previous lessons. Here are a few questions for you to answer. Which was the state first occupied by the British in India? Answer: Bengal. Name the war fought by the British to settle in Bengal. Answer: Battle of Plassey. The British established their empire in India. They intensified their aggression against the local kings. At this time, Lord Wellesley came to India as the Governor General. He brought into force the doctrine of subsidiary alliance. Through this, the English were able to bring the local kings under their control. The British tried to bring Mysore province under the doctrine of subsidiary alliance. This was opposed by Tipu Sultan, and it led to a war in which Tipu was killed. After Tipu's death, half of the province belonging to the Mysore was shared by the English and the Nizam. Rest of the kingdom was given back to the Wadayars of Mysore. After that, Mysore province came under the doctrine of subsidiary alliance. Dear students, now let us learn about the Marathas. There ensued a severe fight for succession in the Maratha kingdom. Instead of allowing Raghunath Rao to ascend the throne, Nana Fadnavis supported the minor Peshwa Bajirao II. Raghunath Rao sought the help of the British. The British took advantage of the situation and waged a war. Although initially they lost, later they conquered Ahmedabad. Subsequent to the Salbai Agreement, Madhav Rao was appointed as Peshwa. This was the first Anglo-Maratha War and took place from 1775 to 1782 AD. Scindia and Bajirao Peshwa II were defeated by Holkar of Indore. When the Peshwa sought British support, the Second Anglo-Maratha War took place. By signing the Bassein Treaty, Peshwa Bajirao II accepted the doctrine of subsidiary alliance. With an objective to obtain independence for the Marathas, the Peshwa Bajirao II mounted an attack on the British Residency. Madhavrao Holkar prepared for war. This led to the Third Anglo-Maratha War. The British defeated the Maratha army. The Peshwa Bajirao II was dethroned and given a pension. After that, Holkar and Bonsley came under the doctrine of Subsidiary alliance. In this manner, the British had established their empire in the Maratha and Mysore provinces of South India through the doctrine of Subsidiary alliance. Ranjit Singh was a famous Sikh king, popularly known as the Lion of Punjab. His son Duleep Singh, along with his Prime Minister Lal Singh, attacked the British with the Khalsa contingent. Duleep Singh was defeated by the British and had to accept the doctrine of Subsidiary alliance. As a result of the wars, Punjab province became a part of British Empire. Now think and answer, who brought into existence the dual government system in Bengal? Answer, Robert Clive. Who was called as the Lion of Punjab? Answer, Ranjit Singh. Pair up and answer. How did Duleep Singh accept the doctrine of Subsidiary alliance? Answer, Duleep Singh, along with his Prime Minister Lal Singh, attacked the British with the Khalsa contingent. When he was defeated by the British, he had to accept doctrine of Subsidiary alliance. As British administration expanded in India, problems too increased. To deal with these problems, British attempted to implement many laws and rules in the form of acts and regulations. These laws proved conducive to the development of the Indian Constitution. Some of the acts or reforms are Regulating Act of 1773, Pitt's India Act of 1784, Minto Morley reforms of 1909, the Act of 1853, the Act of 1919, the Act of 1935. The main objectives of the regulating acts were: 1. The dual government system brought into existence by Robert Clive was abolished. 2. The Governor of Bengal came to be called as Governor General. Warren Hastings became the first Governor General. Write down these points in your notebook. 3. An advisory committee was set up to assist in the administration. 4. Copies of documents relating to the company's affairs were required to be sent to the Secretary of the State. 5. Supreme Court was established. 6. There was provision to enquire the company's officials in England. Take these down in your notebook. Important aspects of Pitt's India Act of 1784. In order to enable efficient administration of areas under the British, permission was granted for appointing a board of control. It permitted the establishment of a Privy Council in the Advisory Committee. East India Company came under the control of the British government. Students, write down these points in your notebook. Now let us learn about Minto-Morley reforms. This law was framed in 1909 by the Viceroy of India, Minto, and his secretary, Morley. The important aspects of this law are: it permitted expansion of the central legislature, the provincial legislative assemblies expanded and gave provision for elected representatives. A separate electoral constituency was based on religion. Dear students, now let us learn about the Act of 1853. This Act is considered to be a milestone in the history of constitutional development. Important aspects of the Act of 1853 are: establish the Central Legislative Assembly, permission to open debate in the Assembly, competitive examinations were introduced for civil services. Government of India Act of 1919 brought many changes in the administration of the nation. A legislative assembly with two houses were created at the center. They are Central Legislative Assembly and Council of States. The India Act of 1935 became an important document and led to the creation of a federal structure in the country. Important features of this act are: it gave freedom to provinces in administration. It became the basis for the Indian Constitution that was framed in independent India. Now think and answer. Who was the first Governor General of British in India? Answer: Warren Hastings. How were the vacancies filled up according to the Act of 1853? Answer: vacancies were filled up through competitive examinations. Which are the two houses of the centre according to the Act of 1919? Answer: Central Legislative Assembly, Council of States. Now pair up and answer which were the important features of the Act of 1935. Answer: it gave freedom to the provinces in administration. It became the basis for the Indian Constitution that was framed in independent India. Dear students, here are some important questions for your enhanced learning. Explain the doctrine of subsidiary alliance. How did the Britishers establish their empire in Punjab province? What were the important points of the Regulating Act? What were the reforms of the Act of 1909? What were the reforms of the Minto-Morley Act? Dear students, under this chapter, the foundation of British administration and its effects, we have learned about Doctrine of Subsidiary Alliance, Anglo-Maratha Wars, Anglo-Sikh Wars, laws brought into force by the British, supplementary points of constitutional development. Lord Wellesley brought into force the doctrine of subsidiary alliance in India. Important keywords under this chapter are Doctrine of Subsidiary Alliance. The native kings had to allow troops of the British Army to stay in his kingdom. Khalsa Army, army belonging to the Sikh leaders. Competitive examinations like KPSC and UPSC examinations. Here are some activities for you. Write a report about advantages and disadvantages under British administration in India. Collect the pictures of British Governor Generals and prepare an album. Read the interesting biography of Hyder Ali and Tipu. Thank you.